Compensatory draft picks, also a big part of the process. The NFL yesterday announcing 36 compensatory picks that will go to 17 teams. The Patriots get the highest of the compensatory picks, 96th overall in the third round. They lost Tom Brady, Jamie Collins, Kyle Van Noy, among others, last year. And this is all determined by, and it's a complicated formula I don't think anybody understands, although the Ravens have cracked the code on this long ago. Free agency losses, free agency gains during a certain window. They crunch the numbers after the fact, and they determine the compensatory picks. So that's something the Patriots have mastered.
Yes.
Free agents leave. They let them leave. They trade for guys with a year left on their contracts,
Yes,
like
do.
they're getting with Trent Brown, calculating this idea that if the guy walks away, we get a gain on the back end in the form of a compensatory draft pick.
Definitely. And not only, okay, you get a chance, of course, to draft extra guys there and, the top 110 picks of the draft, so there's some value there. As we see every year, there's, it's not the elite of the elite, but you can certainly find your diamonds in the rough there. And the other big thing, too, where, at a year like this, New England's got some more toys to play with if they want to trade up in the draft or make a drastic move. Those are picks that teams are going to look at and go, what? You'll give us the 96th pick and this to move up, 5 spots or whatever else? It's going to come in handy, and that's why they're New England. They crack every code there is in the history of football.
Once upon a time, compensatory picks could not be traded. 2-3 years ago, that rule changed, so they can move around with those compensatory picks, and they're going to have the dollars in free agency. They can go bargain shopping, and that's surely what they will do. That roster could undergo a lot of change as these guys become available who aren't signed by other teams, who aren't getting the money they're looking for, if you can convince guys to sign on to the Patriot way, which has 1 day of fun per year. The day you get your Super Bowl ring. 2 days of fun. 3 days. The day you win the Super Bowl, the day you have the parade, the day you get your ring.
It's not
Other than that
bad.
It's 362 days of work. The Cowboys have the most compensatory picks this year with 4. They lost cornerback Byron Jones and linebacker Robert Quinn, among others, last year. 4 teams getting compensatory picks this year for the first time due to the new effort by the NFL to encourage teams to develop minority candidates, whether it's assistant coaches or executives. If they're hired by other teams, that's when you get the compensatory pick. Remember, a year ago they were thinking about giving teams compensatory picks for making the hire. The end result is you get the pick for having your employee get hired. 49ers, they actually will have multiple picks over the next few years. This year, just one, though. The combination of the hiring of Robert Saleh by the Jets, and Martin Mayhew by Washington.
Mayhew,
right. Rams lost Brad Holmes to the Lions. He's the GM there. Ravens lost David Culley. He was the receivers coach. He goes to Houston as the head coach. And then in New Orleans, Terry Fontenot, he became the GM of the Falcons. The Falcons gave their rivals an extra draft pick by making that hire. That tells you what they thought of Terry Fontenot. And there are those picks in that range, Chris, of 102 to 105. And as Pete pointed out, he did the research. Some great players over the years have been found there, including in that range a certain Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
so,
Kirk Cousins.
Available.
I love him today. Hey.
I'm just stating a fact today.
I know.
I'm just stating a fact.
No, but you're right.
Some days, depending upon my mood, I would say that's a reason not to have a pick in 102 to 105.
But there's some good names on there, whether it's Devontae Freeman. Hey, Darrell Williams, the right tackle, is a free agent from Buffalo right now. He's going to get paid. Trey Hendrickson, the pass rusher on the Saints. So, your backup running back on your Minnesota Vikings, Alexander Madison, there's value there. Yeah, your team, baby. But I, this thing with the minority hiring and all that, listen, I like it. It's giving teams incentives to push guys too. Now, it's going to be on the other teams to go, wait, is he worthy of that really? Okay, we got to dig through this, or is this team trying to trick us so they can get a compensatory pick? Either way, it's pushing names and people out there into the conversation that might not have been pushed out there if it weren't for this. What?
I have been accused accurately from time to time for being cynical, but that is an ultra-cynical view, that a team would willingly lose a valued employee to get a draft pick.
Well, if they don't think he's that valuable, they might do that.
Yeah.
So
Hey, here's a guy. How about this watch? I really love this watch. I can't part with this watch. Oh, you want this watch? Boy, that's a shame.
Hey, I'm a big Martin Mayhew, Brad Holmes fan, all of that too.
I hear you.
You know,
it creates an incentive.
It
creates
does.
an incentive.
Right.
That's the problem with this little twist in the rules is the NFL tries desperately to enhance the hiring of minority executives as general managers, assistant coaches as head coaches. This is part of the reality. And frankly, I thought that it would become harder for candidates who are with other teams, especially executives, GMs, because Rick Smith, Jerry Reese, Louis Riddick, 3 available minority executives who could have been hired to be a general manager, and nobody gets any draft pick compensation because they're unattached. I thought they had an advantage in this environment. So I think it tells you that you're going to hire the best person for the job, even if it means giving one of your arch rivals a compensatory draft pick. That for whatever reason, that no one was swayed by, okay, well, this possibility that you're going to enhance someone else's draft day. We're going to go get the best candidates, and if it means someone's getting a compensatory pick, so be it.
Agreed. I think there's that angle, and then, hey, look at Terry Fontenot. I mean, all I hear is good things about the guy. I've only met him in passing. I don't really know him or anything like that, but, those guys, too, when they are really good at their job, teams will squash them a little bit because they don't want them to get out of the building and do that. So now this is like, hey, wait, he's really good. I don't want to give him too many avenues to get out of here and do those type of things. Now it gets them out there. So I think there is, it's proven that there is a little value here for sure. And I do like that because we know this is a big problem in the NFL.
But, you put yourself in Brad Holmes and Terry Fontenot's shoes during the process. There had to have been a concern that I'm going to get passed over because of the fact that a compensatory draft pick flows to my team if I get hired.
Right.
And there had to have been some angst and some concern. But, at the end of the day, and I think this is the refreshing aspect of it, that at their core, I think that NFL teams want the best people for the jobs. They need more coaching, they need more guidance, they need more effort instead of locking on. And I think this has been the problem over the years. You have an owner who locks onto a name, locks onto a reputation, locks onto a candidate,
definitely,
and doesn't let go, and never has that broader effort to take a step back and say, am I truly getting the best person for this job at this moment?
Yeah, right. Or they lock on to an advisor who only advises them to go after the 6 guys he's friends with in the NFL. That's the other thing that the owners fall into the trap with. So, yeah, there's some value to this. And you're right. That's the other side of the story, too, where, the compensatory pick, some teams might not want to see other teams get that and do that. But all in all, hey, look, from that standpoint, it looks pretty good. I wish we had more minority head coach hiring, certainly. I still don't understand the Eric Bieniemy one and all of that. But I will say this, and I'll stick up for the NFL. They're trying to do right here and trying to make this right, and I give them credit for that.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.